Namaste investors. We recently hosted Mr. Atul Raval ji for a Chintak Baitak session. Now, what is a Chintak Baitak session? So it is a session wherein Atul ji talks about his 30 years of microcap investing lessons and which industries look interesting to him at the moment. So in the current session, he talked about the implications of war across different countries, which industries are looking interesting at the moment, and again, our customary market-related gupshups. So, although Chintak Baitak is an exclusive session which is a part of our Mission Smile paid membership, but on the occasion of Navratri, we decided to keep it open for all. And since it was a live session and many couldn't attend the session live, so we are uploading the recording of the same on YouTube. However, if you like this, however, अगर आपको ऐसे सेशंस लाइव अटेंड करने on a monthly basis, then you can become a part of our Mission Smile membership. मिशन स्माइल मेंबरशिप में 100 स्मॉल कैप रिपोर्ट्स मिलेगी आपको, साथ ही साथ हमारे मंथली मिशन स्माइल वेबिनार्स देख पाओगे जिसमें यू विल गेट एक्सेस टू आवर प्रीवियस रिकॉर्डिंग्स एज वेल ऑफ द वेबिनार्स. एंड चिंतक बैठक सेशन इज अगेन something that you can attend live and learn from Atul ji. And a spoiler, the membership rates are going to increase post Diwali. So I will highly urge you to become a member in case you are also interested in learning through these educational videos. Thank you.
A very good morning to all of you for joining us on this weekend. Thank you so much, Atul ji, for sparing your time on a Sunday morning. And thank you so much to all our lovely participants who have joined in and will be joining in some time. As we have a lot of non-Mission Smile members also, I'll just take a couple of minutes to introduce Mission Smile, Chintan Baitak and Atul ji for them. So our Mission Smile members know him very well because we hold these sessions every month. So I'll just start with a brief background as to what is Mission Smile. If you break down Mission Smile, it is basically making new stock market investors learn it through engaging research, right? And we have a lot of offerings within this. We'll cover those offerings in detail later on during the course of the presentation. But I'll just give you one thing, that Chintan Baitak is an integral part of our Mission Smile offering, where Chintan Baitak session is taken by Mr. Atul Raval. I'll just give you some background as to how it all started. Sometime in the month of October last year, I forced or requested Atul ji to come to our Mission Smile platform and did a podcast with him under our offering Investing Karwa. And Atul ji has been investing in the microcap space for over 30 years now. And I had a good fortune of knowing Atul ji since 2016-17 through my friend and partner Akhilesh Pathak. So I should thank Akhilesh ji also because he introduced me to Atul ji. And that webinar or that session lasted 4 hours. We posted that video on our YouTube channel on 31st December 2022. It is still the most watched video on our YouTube channel. And we got a lot of requests from our Mission Smile community members that we should have more sessions with Atul ji. That is where Chintan Baitak session got introduced. And here what happens every month, Atul ji talks about a theme and he takes up a lot of case studies in that theme. And again, the focus area is microcap space, companies which are at least less than 1,000 crore or maybe even less than 500 crores, right? And we have learned a lot from all these sessions. And till now, all the sessions and in future also, all the sessions will be only for Mission Smile members. But on this occasion of Navratri, we thought to involve our non-members also. And as you can see on your screen, if you become a part of our family, you can get this at a very reasonable price today. So you get a 25% discount. You just have to use the coupon code NAV, which is for Navratri, NAV25. We have not shared it anywhere outside on social media or any other. So only people who have joined this will get this kind of access and this offer. So with this, I'll stop sharing here, and I am 100% sure that when Atulji starts to speak, I should keep shut, and we all should listen to him. So I'll go on mute, but I'm all the time available, Atulji. Whenever you face any issue, you can let me know. You can start your sharing now. And Harshal has shared the link to become a Mission Smile member. You can just join, logged in to that link, and use the coupon code NAV25. Remember, this coupon code is only valid till 2 p.m. today. After that, it will not be valid. Thank you so much, Atulji, once again, and over to you. You can share your screen now.
A very good morning to all of you, friends. Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Thank you. Is light proper in this case?
Perfect, perfect.
Right. Okay, so first of all, I thank you, Ankit-ji, entire SmartSync team, and warm welcome to all the participants. As a basic passion in education, this initiative has helped me a lot to connect with a lot of enthusiastic people who are sharing their own journey and participating in a lot of way. And as I have always believed, learning is always mutual. So every time I interact with someone, I also learn a lot. So yes, what we are going to talk today about is the global situation that is prevailing right now, and how any such situations where normally fear spreads across, and every cloud has a silver lining. That's what we say. So how such situations can throw some opportunities if you know the right linkage in the value chains. As we all know, now the world is divided mainly into two camps. One is West, which is comprising US, Canada, Europe mainly. Another part is Russia, China, North Korea, and now joining is the Mediterranean countries, especially Islamic countries. So with the conflict in Israel, there are a lot of things going on here and there. So if you have a clear understanding of what is being traded where, so because overall in the world, some countries are producing some materials in large scale, exporting to other countries. And similarly, in some countries, let's say Japan does not have a very good resource on iron ore. So Japan imports iron ore, and Japan produces high quality steel, various grades, and exports to various countries in the globe. So with this background, if you look at, so there are a lot of trade agreements. So when we talk to someone, like recently in our last Chintan Meeting also, we had mentioned about FTAs, that is free trade agreements. So free trade agreements allow relatively easier movements of goods with less trade barriers into respective countries. So which region has more trade agreements available with their partners is specified here. So especially if you can see the Europe, that is just above Africa in black color, they are having a lot of trade agreements. Relatively Africa, the part below, and Mediterranean, which is just left of the India. They are having a list for sort of no trade agreements. There are countries in Africa which do not have any trade agreements. So it's just like shopping from wherever it is available, but no long-term contracts. Now with the conflict where people are getting divided into two camps, so obviously the camp that is not friendly to the other one will have some restrictions on their exports and imports. This will give an alternative to the suppliers who were otherwise not available there. So in such a case, as we find here, that now we have very good relations with Israel now, and India has already condemned some attacks by the terrorist groups, which has not gone well with the other camp. That is the political reading. So what we can see here is that West-leaning countries and those who condemn Russia. So obviously there will be a lot of restrictions coming in place. Another aspect is that though war is not good for anyone, still it will throw some opportunities to some people, which otherwise in a peaceful time, it will not be so. As we all know, change is the only constant. The world is changing constantly. So every second, every minute, new developments come in. And as we follow them, we'll find opportunities in whatever change. So I'm a keen observer of whatever changes are occurring locally as well as globally, and how they can throw opportunities while monitoring such change. That we'll try to explain in this session. This is yesterday's news, where in a global policy, China said on Friday, it will require export permits for some graphites. Now, as we know, China is world's top graphite producer. And if they, which is a key battery material. So if they restrict their exports, world over, graphite shortage will be felt. So whosoever are local or other producers in world, they'll be relatively benefited because the prices will surge because of export curb on graphite by China, which is a major producer. This is again a news just 2 days back on 20th October that Delhi government is mandating 100% of all cab aggregators and delivery service providers to switch to EVs by calendar 2030. So this will put a lot of pressure on the vehicles on conventional fuel. So that's going to become a long effect by 2030. Altogether, looking to the likely fall in demand, the IGL, Indraprasth gas, earlier it was, it fell 5%. So IGL has to deal with the fall in demand because of this local policy by Delhi government. So as it goes down, something will come up. So EVs will come up. So whatever is there in the EV ecosystem, they all will be gaining. So maybe batteries, battery materials, EV manufacturers, EV charging infrastructure players, chargers, all sort of players in this ecosystem, they are most likely to gain. So far, we have seen two major wars in the recent period and one pandemic. Earlier is Ukraine-Russia, now it is Israel-Hamas conflict. So obviously this disrupts the world trade and the world growth, and it inflicts a lot of pain on a lot of people. But what is the behavior of market in all such situations? So normally it is a knee-jerk reaction. Whenever such bad event occurs, the market gives a knee-jerk reaction. It falls from there. Panic spreads, and most, as per my observation, most affected are retail investors. They get into panic mode. They sell their good holdings, and gradually, when things are getting normal, then they realize that they have sold the family silver. That kind of investment they have sold in this panic. So how the market has behaved in all such events? So let's understand that. As Mark Twain has said, history doesn't repeat itself, but it often rhymes. So such events give us an opportunity. Past such events give us an opportunity to look at how market behaves in such cases. So here a lot of events are mentioned. This is how market has gone up. So it was World War, first of all. Then there was a Black Tuesday. As we can see on left side, market fell drastically. It again started recovering. Attack on Pearl Harbor was there. Again, it fell from there. Again, it resumed upward journey. Nagasaki attack followed the Pearl Harbor event. Market fell for some time, sometimes sideways, then again started moving up. Eisenhower passed away by heart attack. So again, some sideways downward movement. Similarly, when John F. Kennedy, he was assassinated, and still market continued its normal upward journey. So as we see that in all such events, a knee-jerk reaction happens there, and after some time, the market again resumes its journey. So from the very left bottom to the continuous rising trend in this, as shown in this graph, we need not panic much on such situations. Rather, we can look for better opportunities. Whatever we are holding, definitely, if someone is not trader, he should not be worried much. If the stocks that we are holding, they have good potential and they are futuristic. So all such shocks will be absorbed, and gradually it will resume its upward journey as the world grows up. So when the entire world is panic going on one side, how we can go, how we can think for and look into contra-style investing during such crises. So we'll look into some examples, how it has happened in recent past, and how that has behaved. So the day we came to know that Ukraine and Russia has invaded Ukraine, and Russia is a major power. So initially, most of the people thought that Russia will take over Ukraine very easily, and it will settle down in a very few days. However, it has not happened so. If we look into the history of wars, there are many such wars which are very fierce when they began. Gradually, though it did not end, the skirmishes are very little. So then for a very prolonged period of years together, they keep on fighting with each other, but at a very lower scale. So that conflict always arises. That is case with a lot of neighboring countries. As we see, even India and Pakistan, periodically we hear that there are some violations in line of control, and then some firing has happened. Again, it will subside. As we saw again that Kargil was a big attack on India, and how India overcome it. If you remember it well, then probably the market had made a bottom when the first bomb in Kargil was thrown. From that day onwards, market did not slide down. So probably what market does not like is uncertainty. So when actual war starts, certain things are now certain that war has started. Once war has started, some things are going to happen and it will end. So till that time, a lot of disruptions take place. So when this Russia-Ukraine conflict started, what we looked into was that every cloud has a silver lining. So there would be certain things which would be in demand because of war. So one of the most demanding thing in war is ammunitions, the explosives, because missiles, bombs, all they would require explosives. So we looked into Indian listed space. Is there any such player which has got good expertise in manufacturing such propellants or the explosive materials which are mainly used in war? We came across a company called Premier Explosives. If you look at the background, Mr. Chaudhary is this company is led by very good technocrats. It's a leading manufacturer of high energy materials. It has a great record in terms of first in India to manufacture explosive and detonating fuse, first in the world to produce safe and greener NHN detonators, first private company in India to manufacture solid propellants. These solid propellants are a very backbone of Indian space program also. So it is serving in defense and space, as well as we know, explosives are widely used in mining and infrastructure industry. So if you look at the base parameters, the three things that are normally looked at, first is total addressable market. So for this particular company, its products have huge addressable market. Second is promoters. So this is a very good company promoted by technocrats, having 800 people. And since if you look at the achievements, it has already achieved, they are great. So management wise, there is no issue as such. So there was a deep value when this war started. It was around, it was hovering between 190, 250. So that was the range it was moving around. It mainly manufactures propellants, pyros, explosives, as well as countermeasures like chaps. Chaps are something which spreads some aluminum powder around, and it tries to misguide the radar. So it has a wide range of defense material, also utilized in space. Akash, Agni, Prithvi, Prahar, Pralay, all these missiles developed by India, they are supplying the solid propellants to this program, and they are exclusive suppliers. So they are in a kind of monopoly situation. So as the war goes on, world over, those already indulge in war, they'll find shortage of these materials. The neighbors, the neighboring countries, they will feel like they must be prepared, so they will stock up and their inventories will go high. So it will give a push to the margins, because overnight they cannot produce 10x. So as we can see here, that Premier Explosives from those levels of around 200, just in a year, it has touched 1238. So, and if you can see the volumes here, again with the Israel conflict, just in the offing, with the volumes, it has gone up. So now probably it is in much more stronger hands. So Yes, and if you look at the last quarter margins, they have shot up. This quarter also, it is expected to perform very well because that demand is continuing. Another such case, we were looking at Ashapura mine camp. I think in one previous meeting, we had discussed about this. This was a company which was already taken to NCLT. They had expanded very well, but just after their capex, the demand went down. They are mainly into industrial functional materials, that is ores, advanced refractory materials, hydrocarbon exploration solutions, adsorbent solutions, white performance minerals. It happened so that after just after the expansion that they already carried out, and they tied up with shipping companies, global shipping companies, for their exports. And then suddenly it happened so that situation changed, that steel cycle went down, and the demand of iron ore and prices went down. So at the same time, all those shipping companies, they had filed some cases against this company. Lenders also were not getting their interest payment in time. So they also wanted this to be taken to NCLT. In this difficult situation, even they had taken it to NCLT had already taken over the management. A resolution professional was appointed, and subsequent to that, the promoter managed to negotiate with the shipping companies. They withdrawn their arbitration proceedings from the international court. He could manage to make the lenders understand that if they stand with the company, they are going to gain. So there is no point in taking the company to NCLT or winding it up. And finally, with the steel cycle going up, now iron ore prices are also going up. Equally well, if you can look here, it had made a low of around 70, 80, and just within about a year, it has touched 300 this time around. So if you look at the operating leverage that was available with the company, when the cycle was down, the prices had fallen too much, but the quality of management, this is probably only case where management has been able to negotiate with lenders and the counterparties, even in international arbitration court. So that is the strength of management. That is second part, which can lead this to anywhere. As we know, what Israel is saying is that we are at war and will surely win. So this situation looks very complex. So if you look at the trade partners with Israel, we found that Israel is a major producer of bromine. As we can see in this bar graph, Israel is the largest producer in this case, because in between Israel and Jordan, this material is derived from the a pocket of sea. Then it comes China, then Japan. India is a small producer, and Ukraine. So if you look at here, Ukraine is at war. China is supporting that, and Israel and Jordan, they are on opposite sides. So this obviously disrupted this bromine trade. So in our case, we had one company, Archean. So Archean used bromine from own reservoirs as a raw material, and that is main supplier here now. The manufacturing facility is located in close proximity to the Jakhau jetty and Mundra port in Kutch, that is in Gujarat. So this is an integrated manufacturing site in the run of Kutch. And because of these trade disruptions, Archean got very good advantage of this particular situation, and Archean went very well. We also we have got some very good friends who are looking technically, and they've got very good expertise in their observation so far. So a similar case that we are just looking at is that Aban Offshore. Aban Offshore is among India's largest offshore drilling companies. Now crude is going up. So if there are participants who are watching market for, let's say, 15-20 years, they would know that Aban, highest share price of Aban was around 5,200 rupees. It fell to below 50. So it fell to just 1% of the peak price. And now gradually, if you look at the market movement, there is something happening. So we need to look deeper into this. But if you look at the chart, so over a period of time, it has fallen so much, 99%. So now Aban is available at value of brokerage of its peak price. Of course, this is not a recommendation. This is just an example of how we can look at various opportunities. So yes, we are trying to dig deeper into what has changed, what is changing for Aban. And if you find that yes, there is some change which can bring it to the glory days again, that could be a very good opportunity. Similar case was Suzlon on March 31st last year. It was around 7-8 rupees. As we know, India has embarked on a solar journey on a big scale. So as we are all aware, the solar power is available during daytime. So far, we do not have any major developments in storage battery space, so that we can store a large amount of power into such batteries and then can utilize it at the night time, because at night time we do not have solar power available. So that also probably gave very good opportunities to the alternate renewable energy space, that is wind and hydro. So Suzlon was a very prominent name in wind energy. Mr. Tulsi Tanti, who was promoter, unfortunately passed away recently. And if you look at the overall order inflow for Suzlon for this wind power, we were just finding that yes, there is something turning for Suzlon. So again, we consulted our technical friends, though something is not very visible at that time, at that place where it was 8 rupees. But again, one thing that I believe is that clarity has a price. So once things are clear, everybody knows it. So if we can look into something which can happen, so there is definitely a risk. As I had explained in my earlier sessions also, this space is, it demands proper allocation. If one is not comfortable and puts all his 100% allocation into this space, I think that would not be a very wise decision. But according to one's own risk appetite, one should look at this D segment, as I call it, ABCD. So this D segment can be looked at. The advantage is that normally with all the mutual funds, we expect in between 12 to 18% return is considered very good for mutual fund investments, where expert investment managers are understanding the entire market, taking appropriate bets, and they're generating returns which are maybe twice or thrice of the bank rates. In this space, as we can see, if we take the right bets, then Suzlon is 4x in this 1 year so far. Yesterday it touched 32. So from 8 to 32 in a year. Yes, such opportunities can be availed in this microcap space. Personally, I believe that India is on cusp of a very big change. So we travel across, meet with people, meet with companies, management, workers, the dealers, shopkeepers, and what we find, if the buzz is across, if management is good, then definitely anybody would like to encash this opportunity once they have already worked for years together. So any such very good product, very good company, very good management, and if they get the second chance, probably they would not like to lose it again. Such cases we can look deeper. Yes, in any bull market, there would be people who would be manipulating stock prices. So not all cases would qualify for such an investment decision. But yes, even 2 out of 10 that we select, if they go the right way, probably it will generate enough safety and growth for this entire allocation in D category space. So this is something that I believe and I practice for years together. So as you can see here, this is Suzlon chart. Thank you, friends. This was the basic thing with some examples here, that in such situations, how we can go for contra bets, going into very specific companies. Yes, I hand over to Ankit Bhai. Ankit Bhai, you can, I'll take a little break and come back.
Thank you so much, Atulji. So that was a very good, short, but influential and enriched with lot of data plus analysis. So I would encourage all of you to just type in your questions in the chat box, and we'll wait for some time for the question queue to assemble. Till that time, I'll just share a little bit about Mission Smile, because many of you have joined for the first time and are still not aware of what we do at Mission Smile. Plus, some of you would have attended a session maybe sometime in the past, but maybe you did not attend the recent one. So we have done a lot of upgradation in the platform. I'll first share this 25% off because some of you have joined late. So Harshal, you can probably share the link again for people who joined a little late. So if you're not a Mission Smile customer and you want to be a member now, you can just click on the link and use the coupon code NAV25 to get 25% discount. Okay. And now I'll just take you through the Mission Smile platform. I'll hardly take 2-3 minutes just to share what we do. So this is our Mission Smile platform. You can see this is session 6, live session, which is going on. Apart from there, you can see there are so many other things which we do. So this is Treasure Trove research notes. Then there are Mission Smile webinars. All the prices of those courses are there. Then there is Chintan Baithak. Deep dive on CMS companies was the latest webinar we did. Every month we do one webinar. Okay. Then there is SSSK Pathshala. And then a lot of free sessions which we do where we club it together as Investing Masterclass, Learn from the Best, where we have guest webinars and also Investing Karwa. So now what I'll do, I'll just take you to the bundle, which is Mission Smile, right? So if you become a Mission Smile member, you get all these things within one bundle, right? So I'll just give you a flavor of what is there in Mission Smile webinars. So you can see there are sectoral analysis. There was one on natural gas sector, one on travel sector, one on cement industry, one on AC and cooling industry. Then there were 2 webinars on QSR, deep dive on CMS companies recently. Okay. So that is about Mission Smile webinars. Then there is SSSK Pathshala. We are going to do a a very detailed presentation on valuation sometime in the next month, which will again be a part of Triple S ki Pathshala. Chintan Baitak, we have already told you, this was the 6th session. This is the 6th session rather. Okay. Now comes the treasure trove research notes part, which many of you who are not part of Mission Smile are unaware of. So you can see here, Triple S small cap 100 watch list. So I'll just click on one of the reports to just give you an idea how we do a deep dive on. So there are 100 companies which we have covered in the small cap space. Of course, there are no recommendations to buy and hold or sell these stocks, but you get a detailed notes on these companies. You can see here. Okay. So that is how the Mission Smile platform looks like. If you have any question related to Mission Smile platform also, you can ask in the chat box. I'll take that up. And I think you can see here, if you take Mission Smile webinar, it is 6,000. Chintan Baitak, it is 4,000. Triple S ki Pathshala, 1,500. 100 small cap notes, 3,500. Research notes plus all annual report notes, whatever we do, all these are priced at 3,000. So if you add these up, it comes to about 25,000. But when you buy the bundle, you get it at 9,999. And on top of that, if you join our platform today, you get a 25% discount on that. But remember that this 25% discount is only available till 2 p.m. today. Okay. So I'll stop my screen share here and I'll look at the questions if anyone has any question. Okay. Yeah, so Himanshu, you have asked what is Mission Smile. So maybe you joined late. Mission Smile stands for making new stock market investors learn it through engaging research. Okay. So Saurabh, as a rule, we don't share the presentation. The recording of this event will be put up on our Mission Smile platform today or maybe by tomorrow. And we will also share the recording on our YouTube channel sometime in the next weekend. So you can access the recording free of cost, but we don't share the presentation because since we are SEBI registered, sometimes what happens is that people take the presentation, then do some changes, and it gets floated around with our logo in it, which brings a disrepute to our firm. So that's why, as a rule, we never share the presentation. But you can anyway access the recording. Okay. I'm just skipping all the questions which we have to take Atulji's help, and I'm seeing if any question is there for me. Yeah, so Yogesh mentioned that please mention dates on all lessons. So when you look at any of these session, when you click on them, you will get the dates. So for example, there are 30 Mission Smile webinars which have happened. When you pick up any of those webinars recording today, in the first slide itself, we write the date also. So you will be you'll be knowing when that presentation happened. So that will help you in taking that call. I hope that answers your question, Yogesh. Okay, so Dilip says, please mention dates when it is named and uploaded on the site. Okay, we'll see what we can do it. We'll take that as a suggestion, Dilip. We'll see if we can do something about it. Okay. Yeah, so one question is related to renewal. So generally we offer some discount to people who renew their subscription. All our existing members who have renewed, they have got some discount whenever they have renewed. So you can expect that, but we can't specify the percentage as of now because it keeps on changing. Yeah, Himanshu, we do work on microcap. So Atulji, whatever Chintan Baitak sessions happen, generally it is catering to majority of those sessions are predominantly catering to microcaps. As an advisory also, we offer a microcap. So we have an stock advisory service where we offer stocks related to small cap space and also the microcap space. So I hope that answers your question. If you need any detail, you can contact us, maybe DM or email us. We'll share more detail. Okay. Yeah, Dipesh, it is valid for 1 year. Okay. So Himanshu, regarding the detail of small cap and micro cap advisory, since it is not a part of today's discussion, I would request you to just type in your email address or phone number. You may DM us if you don't want to share it with everyone. You can share that with probably Harshal or me. Yeah. So we'll share those details. So Dharmendra, Atul ji never gives any recommendation for any stock on our platform, which is Mission Smile. Mission Smile is not a recommendation platform. This is a research and educational platform. Whenever we share about any company, we give a disclaimer, whether we hold the company or not, but we don't make any recommendation on this platform of Mission Smile, be it Chintan Baitak session or any other session we have. However, we do have a recommendation service. There we have microcap, in which Atul ji is there with us, and the small cap, which is taken care by our team. Okay, I hope that answers your question. I'll just see if there are any more questions. Yeah, so I think Atul ji, if you are there, I would request you to just switch on your camera and so there are a lot of questions for you, Atulji. So I'll start. Just give me a moment. I'll just start from the beginning. Okay. Yeah. So first question is from Santosh. In Suzlon's case, fixed assets are decreasing and also promoter holding is decreasing. So that's a concern he's basically pointing out. So what is your view on that?
As I talked earlier, the normal research which is applicable to whatever way we look at the large caps or the mid caps, most of the things are visible. Their past records, we say that it has to have certain ROE, certain ROC, certain strength in balance sheet. Likewise, in such turnaround cases, mainly the things are the next opportunity that they can embark upon. So the standard parameters probably will not work everywhere in such very micro caps. Mainly the futuristic opportunities that we are looking into it. So market also looks normally into future. Whatever is there in the past is normally discounted in the price. That is what our experience is. So accordingly, like I would say, in case of Reliance Industries, this is it's a giant. So each and every movement of Reliance is under tracking of maybe hundreds of analysts. So this is just like observing an elephant. In my view, elephants cannot run 800 kilometers, but they will not fall very easily. So in microcap space, I compare them with maybe hare or mice. They run very fast, but yes, they are vulnerable. So we need to keep check of that. So what is not visible right now is there is something in store. If you look at the charts and ask any technical experts there, they'll find that there is a huge volume buildup. So that is not the case with very small retail investors who are betting on this turnaround story. It has to be very big, large players. When they gain their confidence in such a story, then only they will accumulate it in huge quantities, which is very much visible on the charts. So yes, I appreciate that not everything looks very rosy in this case, looking to the present or recent past numbers. But this bet is on the likely future story that is coming up. It is growing with a large installed base, wherein even maintenance services will provide a good revenue visibility for whatever is under its own belt. So that is where we look for. I think I've answered.
Thank you, Atulji. So Atulji, the next question is again, I'll take the first on Suzlon only because you have covered Suzlon now. So what is the trigger for Suzlon? I think you have partially answered, but if you can expand a little bit on it.
Yes. We need to keep looking at the order inflows that are coming. As I explained that even in renewable space, that solar power will have to be balanced with the other renewable powers, hydro and this wind energy, wherein Suzlon is a very formidable player. It has got a that way. Apart from finances, it has got very robust track record. So now, unfortunately, Mr. Tanti has passed away. That also probably would pave a way for new management practices, some new ideas there. So that is also a trigger. If you find some real good promoter coming in, so maybe this is not going to be disclosed very soon. But as we see the shareholding pattern that is building up, probably we'll get that into know. The only fact that it has already reached that 32 level and a stock with so much of liquidity, it's not about retail investors who can lift it so much. So definitely there are some very big interested players who have already taken stock price to these levels. So yes, we look for the new orders and any change in management.
Sure, Atulji. Atulji, have you looked at Laurus Labs and do you want to share your view? Because someone has asked about Laurus Labs.
In fact, I have not dived very deep there, but yesterday I just saw the numbers and they do not seem very encouraging.
Right.
But
the numbers were not encouraging for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have any detailed view on that.
Sure, sir. Any view on Subex? Before you say, I'll just repeat this thing again because we are recording this and it will be put up on the YouTube channel also. So please don't take any views of Atulji as a recommendation from either Atulji or from SmartSync Services. Since we are SEBI registered investment advisory firm, we are being even more cautious when we are talking about stocks in general. Since people are asking question, Atulji is free to share his view, but don't take it as a recommendation. We don't use this platform as a recommendation for any service. Okay, please go ahead, Atulji. Sorry. Yeah.
Yes, personally also I was a bit hopeful on Subex, but somehow the price movement suggests that unless it closes above 37, 38 levels, that confirmation signal is not very visible there. So yes, personally I'm invested from a little lower levels. But I'm waiting for that to close on monthly basis above 38. So I'm just waiting for these results because there is a lot of buzz in the sector. Again, the divergent trend, if we look at, then the big elephants in IT space probably they are not performing so well. Even their guidance is has not been so well. But at the same time, smaller players like this yesterday, I just checked the signed numbers. So yes, such players are doing good. Maybe one of the reasons that comes to my mind is that large players like TCS, Infosys, they are driven by certain fixed processes, wherein they cannot move very swiftly into very smaller deals. Then they need to find bigger deals, and then by the time they set up entire things, their fixed costs also are high. As compared to them, the relatively smaller players have a lot of agility. They can grab deals with smaller pie, can finish it maybe. Even process-wise, they can be a little flexible as compared to others. So probably that is giving them a lot of space. So we see divergent trends in IT here, where larger players are performing separately, smaller players are performing a different way.
Atulji, this is one of my favorite question also, which you touched upon right now. So if I ask you this, taking a 2-3 year view from here, do you see a very clear case that probably smaller and mid-size IT companies, even in that there are service-oriented companies and then there are product companies. So you will see divergence in performance between large and small and mid.
Yes, my personal view is that because of emergence of newer technologies, all technology companies are subject to unnoticed disruption. If I am already established, I have already invested a great sum into my offerings, either service or products, and all of a sudden, if something comes up with a better new technology at much lower cost, then it can. So in this space, I find that smaller players would be more agile. They'll be able to grab the opportunities probably more quickly. So for large IT players, changing their entire service offerings, like right now, every player is building AI into their offerings. Now they are coming up with that. But a very small player with such niche offerings can go very fast. And with much little market cap, I think investors also would leave the free float very low. And once some big investors at some real good value are sitting into such micro caps or some small caps, definitely the free float is going to dry up. That will again lift the stock up. So yes, in my personal view, I see second line IT companies better placed.
Thanks, Atulji. Yeah.
Is it the same view? Again?
Yeah, I was not trying to say my view, but I also hold the same views. I'm happy to hear that from you, because I'm not going to take the names. We are also invested in a couple of mid-sized IT companies. One is a product company and the other is a service company. And general view of the market is that IT will be a problem. So I also have the same view as you are having, Atulji, that the problem is more with the larger guys, and exactly the same view where because of disruption, because of newer technology, these guys will find it difficult to cope up. And so IT is all about learning and relearning new things, right? So it is difficult for a large size company to be agile and adopt all the new things. So that is where I think mid-cap and small cap IT still has a lot of legs to go. Even though the IT index may not perform, because IT index will have all the heavyweights. They will not have the smaller companies, right? So market sometimes give these conflicting signals, right? Yeah. So Shashank asked this: how does new technology can disrupt wind energy sector, as many countries already entering into modular turbines instead of large windmills?
Yes, again, this would be, you see, long back, I had met with a veteran in this wind energy space. And I was just asked, I had the same curiosity that can I not design something which is very small and which is as compared to the traditional wind turbines that require huge space, maybe a very good wind velocity all the time. So has to be installed in certain pockets where wind velocity is above certain level for the most part of the year. So in fact, we had explained that there are a lot of research already done for this particular wind energy technology. And he was of the view, this I'm talking about 15 years back. So, but yes, now that research environment has changed probably, and the rewards are fascinating. So recently I came across a video. I don't know how practical it would be, where someone has built a sort of very micro turbine, a wind turbine, and such turbines can be installed even on terraces, like we are installing solar rooftops. So, but yes, taking that to a commercial scale and looking at success, if such success comes in, then definitely it can disrupt the traditional players. So yes, that is a vulnerability. Any technology, as I said, technology itself is something which has disrupted some player in past. So that is always the case with technology. So any technology is vulnerable again to some new technology. So yes, we need to check that.
Thanks, Atulji. So I think Dr. Suvid asked a very important, interesting question. How many stocks will you carry in the D category? Or how much allocation in percentage terms will you have in the D category? Plus, on a side note, any companies in the listed space in the hydroelectric space in India? So there are two questions basically. Yeah,
Okay.
one is on the allocation side, the other is on the hydroelectric space.
So addressing the first part, yes, this is a question with most of the investors who look to allocate some space into this D category. I think that will go with the risk appetite that one has. So in previous one of the previous sessions, I had explained the overall allocation canvas. What one can look at. Generally, what I find, this is a very generalized view, but most investors I find they are heavily invested into fixed assets, and liquid assets are mostly FDs, gold or similar things. The risk part starts with the mutual fund. Because obviously mutual fund, though in past we have seen that there are mutual funds who have not performed or who have even given negative returns at times. So in that case, I would suggest that one has to look at one's own risk appetite. But someone can start with, let's say, 1% allocation. Have some experience on this. Am I audible, Ankit bhai? Hello.
Yes, Atulji, you're audible.
Okay. So one can start with, let's say, 1% allocation, have some experience on this, can dive a little deeper for such cases, and with the experience, because a very large allocation at the very first moment may not be very suitable to people who are not very comfortable with the shocks. Because yes, something can go wrong, and as we were just comparing, the elephant cannot die very immediately, but my mouse can die very immediately. So we need to look at the opportunities, especially the promoters, and the turnaround story, how it can take shape. So some sort of research, personal research, I would recommend before jumping into such companies. Another was a hydroelectric space. Yes, earlier also we had discussed one company called Worthington Pumps. Worthington Pump, again, they were a product company, ventured into this pump storage projects itself, and now they are doing good. But again, the third part, the first part is total addressable market, which I see, yes, with the solar, the alternatives in wind and hydroelectric, government is giving equal weight to that space also. Second part is management. In this case, management also is good, has very good track record. Third part is value. So valuation wise, it has already nearly 3x in this year itself. So one has to look at the value also. Even some very great companies, if bought at the very high valuation, there is nothing left on the table for an investor. So that third part is also very, very important to me. So if in my scrutiny, if a particular stock passes the first two criteria, then when and how much, that I decide based on value. I think that answers.
Can you just come again with the name of the company, because I have not heard about this company?
Worthington Pump.
Worthington.
WPIL.
Okay. Thank you. So I'll just go to the next question. Just give me a moment. So I'm passing the question on Suzlon, because we have covered Suzlon too many times. Yeah. So I don't know, Dilip, on what point you asked this question. Not only fixed asset and promoter holding, which has decreased, but also Sun Pharma promoter. Acha, it is again related to Suzlon.
Yeah, they have recently, the news were they have exited probably.
Yes. So Surveys asked this question, sir. You mentioned Premier Explosives being a beneficiary of Russia-Ukraine conflict. However, does the company have any exposure to those geographies? From what I understood, the rally in the stock came after they won a huge emergency order from Ministry of Defense India.
Yes, as I said, though it may not be directly supplying to these particular countries, the obvious impact on all the countries is that they must be prepared well. In case any conflict comes to them, right, as we are seeing right now that with Israel and this Palestine conflict, now the all neighboring countries, some attacks are from Yemen, as we hear in news. So obviously all the likely related parties, at least they will stock up. So in general, in this space, the defense preparedness will go up. For that, they need to stock up inventory. So it will create a huge demand suddenly, which cannot be met with the existing suppliers, considering that they never thought that tomorrow there is going to be a war. So as it erupts, that disruption happens even in the value chains, in supply chains. So that will, if you look at the results, the margin has gone up substantially. So one thing is volume, another is margin. If both happen, that's extreme.
Sure.
I would suggest to look at the Premier Explosive results for last maybe 8-10 quarters.
Right. So Atulji, Rajesh asks about Multibase Industries. Do you have any view on Multibase today?
Yes, in fact, we also participated in last AGM also. There is a management change. DuPont is the parent. DuPont is a giant company, and this is a very tiny company. The only question, the earlier it happened so that parent were this Dow Corning. So Dow and Corning both are giants. They decided to take their business into their private arm in India. So they pulled out their main product from this company, which was carrying nearly 50% of the turnover and maybe 60% of the profitability. And then stock suddenly fell. So personally, I feel that this was a lapse on the part of management. We took up the matter with the management. They said that, oh, obviously, that parent is going out. So they pulled it out. There are a lot of questions raised by many of the shareholders in earlier AGM also, this AGM also. The only trigger could be now Mr. Marx Metaxas. He is a DuPont director who has now come on board of Multibase. So we also have directed certain queries to them. They are not well replied by the company so far. We hope that the last reply that I got was that they are traveling, and once they are back, management will be replying. Opportunity wise, what they have got something which is used in airbags. Now government is mandating more airbags for each vehicle. Earlier it was 6 for all. Now I think that's not 6 for all, but overall the demand will go up. That is one thing. If DuPont decides to take this as their main vehicle in India, because now they also give importance to market India as a market. So yes, if that clarity emerges that DuPont will be bringing in new products through this vehicle, this listed vehicles, and not their private arm somewhere other. So okay, fingers crossed.
Thanks, Atulji. So Ravi asked this question: will graphite producers benefit from China export ban, and how long the ban persists?
Yes, this is just a news 2 days back. So how actually people have their inventory in place, the other existing players have their inventory in place, how they would rush to stock in, etc. So we'll need to this is a source, right? As I consider. Now we need to look at which companies are into this space and what is their current standing. Whom do they supply? Can they get whatever China will have some curbs on export. If someone is there with long-term contracts already with Chinese companies, probably they will keep on getting certain things. So yes, this is a source where now this is a lead and we can look deeper into this space.
Right. So I think Rajesh is asking about Jyoti structure.
So,
I'm
I'm not
reminded
gone
of-
deeper into this.
I'm reminded of that podcast of ours where you mentioned क्या लेना है सबको बात करना है क्यों लेना है वो नहीं मालूम.
Right. In fact, a friend is tracking that. I have not gone much deeper into this, but it looks like a restructuring case.
Okay, thanks Atul. Next question is, again is there a technical trigger in case of Aban or Suzlon? What if fundamentals are bad? Just now checked Aban, the balance sheet has gone for a toss. Interest coverage is negative. How to look at such stocks? Or with a small allocation we buy? I think this is an important question Akshay has asked.
Yes. You see, what could be the trigger for Aban? One could be restructuring of the balance sheet. So if something like that happens, then Aban has a glorious track record. So I think if we remember the discussions on KCL, right? We had discussed a stock called Kirloskar Electric. It was in a similar situation at the time, where balance sheet was obviously very bad. Turnover also was not growing well. the demand tailwinds were excellent. So they had a very good name in the market. Now that coupled with the demand tailwinds and willingness of management to change things. So that made it almost journey from nearly 25 to 125 within a year. So what could change for Aban? The crude prices have gone up. Aban is mainly into offering its drilling rigs to the oil producers, which has got a very high daily rentals. So with the asset base that it has, if it cracks some good long-term contracts with the oil exploring companies, and if it can restructure its balance sheet here, then things would be different, could be different. So whether these triggers are happening or not, that one has to look a bit deeper. So how they are connected, what new contracts are coming up, if whatever the contracts they have, let's say with earlier when oil was down, probably their contracts also would be at lower rates. If they are coming up for renewals, and if they are offered higher rates, that could really change the things. Right now, what appears is technically someone is accumulating and it has closed above 56. Though let me clarify, I am not a technical expert. I rely on other friends who have proven themselves so many times in past. So this is a combination where we look for fundamentals, whereas technicals are supporting.
So Atulji, I think this was an important question, and then this question is followed up by another question by Akhil, who asked that how do you go about allocation in these stocks? Practical ideas like Premier Explosives and Suzlon and maybe Aban Offshore.
Yes, as I said, you see, Premier was not a D category case. Premier is a C category case where valuation is not that very high.
I think Atulji, you have to explain that A, B, C, D again, because there would be some people in the audience who would not be aware.
Yes,
if you can briefly explain that, that would be great.
To me, the large caps, mega caps, they are in A category. They cannot fall overnight, and they cannot run overnight. So those who are willing to have something better than bank FDs can look at that space where there is ample safety, promoters, products, track record, markets, everything is well known. A lot of very good, highly skilled investors, fund houses, they are tracking it. And a lot of reports getting published every day on this space. That is A. I do not expect, except for some very exceptional cases, I do not expect them to move very sharply. So on an average, market-oriented return would be the case with such A category stocks. Then there are B category, as per my classification. They were not very visible earlier, but maybe over the last 5, 10, 15 years, they have taken themselves to very good heights. Visibility is quite good. Balance sheet also is quite good. Their ROE, ROC is also very healthy, and they can grow better than those A stocks. But simultaneously, then they are not so established that they cannot be disrupted. So these are the cases with B category, which will generally give returns better than A class. Their vulnerability is a little more than A class. The C category is something where things are not discovered. They are at a very low value. But then there are certain sparks. Like if someone has developed a very good new product, which is now getting acceptance from the market. Someone has disrupted the existing processes in some market and now taking lead in that space. but valuations are yet not discovered. That is the main part. So that is C category. I look mainly into my allocations are majorly new allocations are into C category. Yes, I do not own personally. I do not own any A category stock. If I bought something in C and it has reached B, and still I find that it is giving overall very good stability, I keep. I kind of book something, pull out my capital, keep the rest. I try to find new C category stocks. So for that, we look into various emerging sectors, and within those sectors, who can do well. So that is the idea. D category stocks are stocks where they had some glorious past, and for some reasons, some mistakes, some external environment events or something like that, they've fallen a lot. Like in case of Aban, as I said, it was at peak, it was quoting upwards of 5,000, which fell down more than 99%. So yes, as such, it's a gone case for the market. But can there be something which can turn it? In that case, promoters obviously would be very eager to again ride into their past glory. So personally, to me, I think they'll not leave any effort spared if they can really see that the company can come back. So in past, we have seen a lot of such cases where even that Kirloskar Electric or this drill in that very small space, they have delivered fantastic returns. But yes, to me, my assumption is that out of 10, at least 2 will die down. Probably I lose half of the capital there before I can exit. And in certain cases, if your allocation is high, then in such those situations, one may not be able to exit even, because the liquidity will be a problem. Like someone has gone into NCLT, and it will depend on what the new company, the new promoters have proposed for the resolution. So one such case was Rohit Ferroalloys, and it was quoting at around, I think, 35, and next day it became 0 because the NCLT approved the rehabilitation proposal with the new promoters, wherein old equity holders did not get anything. So all of a sudden it became 0. So yes, I would request all participants to look at the risk that we are trading in this space, especially in D category. C also has risk because it is very small size. Promoters are relatively unknown. They have to make up for their name. So it will be a journey of, let us say, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 years. Right? But then there could be very promising cases depending on the external environment. Like for last 7, 8 years, we had been looking at Frontier Spring. So only 3 players for after nearly 25 years of development, only 3 approved players, 2 unlisted players, and only listed player in Spring, Railway Spring, was this Frontier Spring. In almost this 7, 8, 9 years, from 15, 20 levels, it has reached 640. And now, if you look at the last AGM, they have revealed that the next big opportunity that they are looking at is air spring. They have already developed the air spring, and now that has been approved by railway, and now field trials are going on. Once these field trials are over, most probably in this next 1-2 months at the most, railway is supposed to place large orders for air springs. That is what they have said in AGM. So again, after a consolidation at this level, but now that is moving out of C category. So once it changes that, maybe we'll pull some capital out of it and can keep it as a stable bet. So in this way, I keep on adding C and D category stocks. And as they move to B category, my overall folio remains stable in terms of allocation, because D requires very little allocation.
Thank you so much, Atulji, for the detailed answer. So, Atulji, before I ask any new question, it's 12:25. I think you told me that you have to leave at 12:30.
Yes, if you can, okay. One thing we can do is participant can send their questions on mail to SmartSync.
That is a good idea. That is a
Right.
very good idea, actually.
And then gradually, maybe I'll try to address whatever is known to me.
Right. So what I'm doing, I'm sharing my email ID on the chat box. You can just write with a message. The text of the subject of the mail can be Chintan Baitak session 6, and then ask any question you want, and I'll compile all the questions and I'll send it to Atulji, and we'll all get back and we'll share the answers with everyone who have attended the session, so that everyone can learn from it. Okay. So Atulji, one last question, I think, before you leave us. It's already 12:25. I think if you can just share a little more about how important it is, because many of people have actually asked this question also in some ways in the chat box also. How important it is to meet the management when you are investing in microcap? How important, and how is your schedule generally? How much do you travel? And not just management, what are different areas you use or different tricks you use to get more information and knowledge about the industry and the business, which is not available to the normal public, which is not available on the annual reports. Most of these companies do not hold any con calls also. So I think that will be very, very, very helpful to all of us. And I think we can probably, it will be great to see you end on that note.
Thank you all, those who have asked this question, and obviously it shows their curiosity in this space. Yes, we visited this Railway Expo in Delhi. So we found that there were about 250 players from private as well as listed space exhibiting their products and services. So personally, to me, meeting so many people at a time provides a very good opportunity. But not only just to have a look at what is being developed in this space, because one has to go through a lot of material and flip through it to know that what are the developments. Rather, at a single place, so many people very eager to showcase their whatever achievement, developments. So at least we come across. There we came across one unlisted player, which maybe by the end of this financial year, most likely they would be coming public. So we met them and they explained that I think in our earlier sessions also we had discussed on Carnex. Personally, I'd received a lot of questions on this, that how one can trust a company where balance sheet has carried, it's such a small company, carried forward losses are to the tune of 70 crore. Its capital is just 12 crore. For last almost 7 years, it is consistently into losses. So obviously no question of any ROE, ROC, any positives. And they are unable to execute even their order book. So up till last quarter, there is not much to look at, even a turnover. And then how do we look at it or recommend it? I personally get it involved in our portfolio. The basic idea is that this is something not visible to most of the investors. So if you look at the developments there, they are into Kavach technology, which is anti-collision technology for railway. With this Orissa mishap that we had sometimes back, where we lost 300 lives. Government is always concerned, and even more concerned on speedy implementation. Now they already have an order of 550 crore rupees. They have spent a substantial amount of their resources on R&D, and now they are approved vendor. And there are only 3 vendors in this space. So whatever opportunities are coming, railway does not allow any arbitrary participation into their tenders. One has to be pre-approved. Now, any new player who is coming in will have to pass through the product trials and then field trials. So that is a case where these new opportunities that is coming up, as I learned, around 5,000 crore new tenders will be awarded by end of this year. So even if we consider 3 players, Connex is most likely to grab at least some 1,000 crore order, next order. With expected profitability of 18 to 23%, even if we take mean at 20%, then the past losses and lack of availability of working capital that they address with the preferential issue that they did at 400 rupees. Now, if you look at the names in the preferential issue, you will find some marquee names who are already very good at their investments, and they are very well known to the market also. So when they are putting something at 400 rupees, obviously they are not putting it for 10%. So if you look at in the rear view mirror, you will find everything black. But the opportunity that is just so in this year itself, probably it is nearly 2x. Even from these levels, what we see is that if they what they even said in the AGM, they are going to have 320 crore of turnover this year itself in 23-24. So with 20% margin there, we can easily visualize that this can generate even post-tax profit of around 35-40 crore rupees. Which this is not something which I'm assuming. This is what they have said in their AGM. And next opportunity, that is maybe they'll grab a pie of 1,000 crore. So if that happens, then again one can imagine how earnings will transform. The big opportunity that I see personally is that such a small player with market cap below 1,000 crore, the giants that they are having as their partners, the likes of L&T and KEC and Kalpataru and Ashoka Wildcon. Obviously, if the promoters are willing to sell this company, they would be very much willing to provide a huge premium to the present market cap. So this is an assumption, an opportunity, but backed by substantial intent and statements of the management itself, which is also visible there. So personally, I travel a lot. I meet with the managements, especially in such microcap things. Last month we visited 2 companies in Chennai, and we found that yes, there are certain facts that is not available anywhere, which is revealed in one-to-one discussion. We could find that the gentleman who was speaking to us, he was so happy that some 7-8 people from different parts of India have come to see me. And then he explained his own journey, and we could find that he is there. He was offered some very good position in GE, which he refused and rather stayed here. So maybe that reveals the capability of promoters, which is the main driving force. So yes, there is an issue that there are a lot of people who are very reluctant to meet with the general investors, especially the retail ones. So one can, the way out is building a good network with the investing community. So if I know someone, if I don't know someone in Chennai, I can ask somebody who knows them in Chennai. So this is how probably we can build our network and share it. You see, personally, my philosophy is that I have very little capacity to invest. So if I compare myself with the luminaries, then I have a very little space to invest. So for that, if I don't reveal things, which I generally found that in previous years, people used to do such things. That if they know something, they'll buy 500,000 shares, but will not talk to anybody else. I see the advantage if I talk to someone, and if there are some issues which I don't know, maybe they can reciprocate. So it is win-win. So at large, yes, we have SEBI rules, we have our own limitations. Whatever we do is based on our own assumptions. And plus, we try to check the facts. Despite that, we can fail somewhere, which is part of the game. So yes, to me, meeting with the management is giving a lot of clarity in many cases. There are so many. An interesting thing, the last interesting thing that I would like to mention is that in the Delhi Rail Expo, we came across one commodity company. So I was wondering how they are there. So fortunately, their CMD was there. He also was very pleased to see a lot of investors moving around, a lot of prospective clients also. I just checked with him that, okay, this is something which I have never seen before. He replied that there are still something which you have never seen before, but we are not displayed. It is because competition also is coming to such places. And I would not like to reveal this in public place. But now, then he revealed that they have already developed the exterior part for BrahMos missiles. Now it's a commodity company. If they can do something for BrahMos missile, means they are focusing a lot on their R&D. So right now the evaluations probably are as per commodity company. So if means BrahMos cover would be something which they would have developed something special, because this cannot be something very ordinary. So then we can look deeper into it, that how they can turn. Then two advantages would be there. One is if they come out of that commodity mindset, market will offer higher P. With these offerings, maybe they'll be able to generate more volume or in newer areas. So yes, such things can happen.
Thank you so much, Atulji. And it is good that you took that last question and explained it in detail. And I'm sure all of us would have learned a lot from that. Atulji, it's 12:37. I think you might be wanting to leave, but I am there. If you have any other question, you can ask me, but I think Atulji will have to leave right now.
It's a great pleasure to I feel I'm fortunate to have interaction with so many very enthusiastic people who are there on this Sunday morning, sparing their valuable time here. Thanks to all. Maybe once Ankit Bhai collects these questions, kindly share your email ID also, so that we can share whatever information, knowledge that we have gained. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Atulji. So I've shared my email address on the chat box. And if anyone has any question related to Mission Smile or anything, thank you so much, Atulji, for your time. I know you have a personal commitment also, but still you managed to spend some time with us. And as always, it was a wonderful, wonderful session for every one of us. And that is why we kept this one free for all, so that larger people at one point of time, I think more than 200 people were there live. So thank you so much, Atulji. If anyone has any question related to Mission Smile or anything, we are still there. You can ask us. You can type in on the chat box, or you can raise your hand. We can take that up. Yeah. So yes, so I think Himanshu has asked for. So Himanshu, I think we have already told you the advisory service detail will will share with you. Regarding the Mission Smile, Harshit, can you just explain what do you want to know? We have already shared about the platform and all. If you want me to explain again, or you want to know something particular? Yeah, so Harshit, what I'll do, I'll again just run you through the, it will take me 2 minutes only. I'll just run you through the platform. This is the platform. I'm just sharing. I hope you can see the platform now. So once you join the platform, you get this. So I am now, I'll just go back here. Okay, so when you log into the platform, you see this courses like today's sessions 6 of Chintan Baitak. Then there are other courses like research notes, Mission Smile webinars, Chintan Baitak session, and we have put the prices of those sessions as well. Then deep dive on CMS company, which we did recently. And then there is a Triple SK Pathshala, where we are going to have our next session on Triple SK Pathshala in the coming month. Okay, but when you come down here, you see this is a bundle of Mission Smile. In this, you will find that all what we are doing under different courses, all of that are available at one place. Mission Smile webinar, Triple SK Pathshala, Chintan Baitak, investing masterclass, learning from the best, basically is a combination of two things. One is the guest webinars we do with our friends in the industry. And the other one is Investing Karwa, where we call our guests who have really good experience in the market, and we take a podcast. We do a podcast with them. Okay. And then the last one is research notes. This I again show it to you because this is something where we have worked really hard. So there are 100 small cap companies which we have worked on. So Atulji was talking about Frontier Springs. Say, for example, you want to know about Frontier Spring. You come to the platform, you open it up, finding it. Yeah, it's opening up now. So you can see here, we have done a detailed notes of, there is no recommendation whether to buy or sell at the current valuation, but by reading these notes of annual reports and the con call transcripts and the presentation, you get a good idea about what this business is all about. Okay. So if you want to study any small cap company, so hundreds of those small cap companies are already covered by us. Okay. And the best part about this is, if you combine all these courses together, it will cost you about something like 18 to 20,000. But for Mission Smile bundle, we charge only 9,999. Okay. And today, if you become a member, you get a further 25% discount on that. But remember, this offer is only valid till 2 p.m. today. So I think I have shared enough about it. I'll stop sharing it. I'll look at the other questions. Yeah. Okay. So I think Harshit, you got your question. Himanshu, you were asking about the advisory services. Please be rest assured, someone from our team, either me or Harshal or anyone, will get back to you soon on that. Thanks, Dilip. You have already answered the question of someone who is asking for resources. Where can we find CMS webinar? So Yogesh, if you become a Mission Smile member, that CMS webinar will also be a part of it already. And if you just want to watch the CMS webinar, you can log in and there is a separate folder which is made for the CMS webinar, and you can just pay, I think, $4.99 and watch that webinar. Yes, Harshit, we do have a WhatsApp group also for Mission Smile members. Once you become a member, you will be added to that group, and you will get all the details there. Okay, Yogesh, so since you're a member, you would definitely get it in the Mission Smile webinars. in the Mission Smile webinars, there are two things. One is sectoral webinar and the other is company specific. CMS will be under the sectoral webinar. The last one in the sectoral webinar will be CMS webinar. Okay. And even if you don't find, you let me know or let Harshal know. We'll help you out with that. Okay. Yeah, Amit, I see your message related to advisory. You can write to us. For advisory, again, I'll just sharing my email ID. You can just write to me that you want to know more detail about advisory, or you can also book a call with us specifically for advisory. Maybe Harshal, you can share that MailChimp link, which people can use to book a call for advisory service. Yeah. So I don't see any other question here. Anybody with any other question? We are happy to take. I think till 1 PM we are open. बाद में 2 बजे से इंडिया का मैच है, तो I would leave all of you to to enjoy the match today on a Sunday. Can we visit your place? Place means so we work online. I am based out of Bangalore. Harshal is in Ahmedabad. So what place you are talking about, Vikram? If you are in Bangalore, we can meet for sure. Yeah. Any other question from anyone? So I don't see any further question. So thank you so much, everyone. Vikram, in Ahmedabad, you can again drop me an email or send us a DM. We'll send you the details. So we have our office in Ahmedabad. If you want to come to our office, we'll make that arrangement also. Okay. So Bangalore meetup, Surya, is not recorded. We don't record those sessions. It is only for people who are in Bangalore, and it's happening on 28th of this month. You can check. Yeah, Yogesh, so in Mumbai also we are planning something in the month of November. We'll keep you posted. Since you are a Mission Smile member, you will get to know earlier than anyone else. So we'll definitely have a session soon in the month of November, that physical meetup. And yes, it will be on a Sunday only. So don't worry about that. Okay. One with link to Mission Smile program. I didn't understand the RB. One with the link to. What do you mean by BrahMos over here? I didn't understand. Maybe you can email us whatever your question is. Acha, BrahMos missile program you're talking about, or that is the commodity company which he was talking about. Which is the company, Atulji, last effort? Yes. Yeah, that was the company. Acha, you're talking about the name of the company? I'll talk to Atulji and share that name also. You can probably write an email to me. Again, I'll share my email address with this question. I'll definitely ask Atulji and share it with all. So what we'll do, we'll compile all the questions and we'll have answers of all the questions from Atulji. And then whoever is asking that question or whoever has registered for today's webinar, we'll share it with all our Mission Smile members and all people who have attended today's webinar. Okay, or who have asked this question. Okay, then. So this is the Mission Smile link which Harshal has shared, and this discount coupon code is NAV25. So you can probably use that. Only thing is that it is active only till 2 PM. So you have 1 hour left. Thank you so much, everyone. It was great having all of you on a Sunday evening, and now I hope most of you would be watching the match today of India and New Zealand. And if you like the program, if you like the session, our only request to you is please share the word so that more and more people can benefit from sessions like this. If you can probably tag our Twitter handle and tweet about it, that will do a world of good for us, because more and more investors will get to know about what we are doing at Mission Smile. With this, Thank you, everyone. Nice talking to you, all of you, and keep sending your good questions because that helps us learn a little more and more. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you for watching this session. I hope you liked this video. And in case you are also very irritated with this regular ads during the video, then I have a suggestion for you. You can become a member of Mission Smile community for free and watch all these sessions and much more premium content without any irritating ads. So the link is in the description box below. Do become a member. Thank you.